Gentlemen, fellows, lady fellows, boys and girls of all ages, we have before us a 1996 Cobra with the fabled Mystic paint job, made 2,000 of them, and it's been 4 years in the making, saving up money, working on the side, what have you, and we're gonna rebuild this thing. I've been slowly gathering parts up. We got long tube headers, AC condenser, X-pipe, 3-core radiator, shocks, new bushings, water pump, caster camber plates, bump steer kit, ball joints, rear end oil, plugs, wires, a fuel and AC disconnect, new fuel filter, forgot what's even in there, springs, got the shocks up there, mufflers, that's the rear end 373s, got pads and rotors drilled and slotted. There's a lot more in there. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been buying stuff. But we're going to take it, all that, and throw it on this bad girl right here. Daughter's out here playing. But I have not seen a rebuild or restoration or pretty much anything besides a walk around for sale video on these Mystic Cobras. And I have a soft spot in my heart for this car. This car in general, the paint. Just the SN95 body style. Whatever tickles your fancy on this particular year, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, today, now, before I start all this will be my first build ever. I'm no mechanic. I mean, I have general mechanic skills. I can turn a wrench, but a lot of this, most of this, will be my very first time doing any of it. So, I got long tube headers and a bunch of stuff under the hood. Gonna save that for later. A little intimidated by to put the long tube headers on. You have to basically brace the engine with either the cherry picker or a engine brace bar from Tractor Supply or what have you. Hold the engine up, basically drop the K-member, the whole front end, put them on and put everything back. A little intimidated by that. We're gonna do it, but later. Let me build up some confidence. So we're gonna start on the rear. One thing you gotta do is pressure wash the daggum plastic dip off of there. And I had this car for 9 years. I was a younger me. I didn't know any better. So, we have drilled and slotted rotors, new ceramic pads, Eibach Sportline lowering springs, new rear lower control arms, and shocks. All to go in the rear. So we're going to start with that. Most of that seems pretty easy. I feel like we can do that. Do one side, make sure I get everything right, take pictures and videos and references, go to the other side, and that'll be that. I do need to take a before and after of the stance because I had planned on getting the Pro kit, the Eibach Pro kit, because I thought it dropped it lower than the Sportline. Almost bought it. Double checked on my information. Turns out the Sportline drops anywhere from 1.25 inches to 2 inches. The Pro kit is anywhere from 3/4 inches to 1.25 inches. Do not hold me that. Google it yourself, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, we'll be back. So, just got the little center cap cover off. Daughter's helping out. Because this is going to be your car one day, isn't it right? Noticed I'm already missing a lug nut. Been driving who knows how long. Missing a lug nut. But anyway. Oh goodness. There we go. Oh, that thing heavy. Next step. So, more surprises. Turns out, I got a spacer on here. I got a 1-inch. Had no clue. So that's got to go. Yeah, they got to go. So after an exploratory journey into the English vernacular of cuss words, we have new drilled and slotted rotors, ceramic pads, Coney orange shocks, Eibach lowering springs with new lower and upper spring isolators, new BBK traction or grip lower control arms. This is going to go back. I just lost the nut. Gotta find it. And BBK upper control arm. And just show you how bad the old spring isolators were, here's one of them. Yeah. And this is the old shock. Doesn't do anything. Here's the other one. And it just stays there. So they need to be replaced. So a little bit has happened since last turned the camera off. We'll come back to the front. That's for another video. The rear, completely sorted. Like I showed in the last little clip, shock springs, the whole 9 yards. What I did not know is that the lower control arms had, I'll show you. The lower control arms had these 2 bolts here and here. Well, it was for a sway bar, anti-roll bar, whatever you want to call it. Didn't really think about it, but mine, the Cobras, come stock with a sway bar that they were a little prone to breaking. So I got a Eibach, I believe it's 25 millimeter thickness anti-roll bar, sway bar, let's see, whatever. But now the rear, minus the gears, is done. All the way done. Ugh. Whoop. Look at that. It's just pretty. So, to wrap up episode 1 for the rear end, finished. Next video, the front. Alright, one last thing before we go for the episode. This is what I was talking about on the sway bar. These are the factory control arms. Oh, that one doesn't have it. Okay. There. Okay. Factory lower control arm. It would sit like that in the car. And those are the 2 bolts I was talking about. But it only used one when I took it out, so I was like, it's probably just redundancy. This is a piece, I believe that's a piece of the sway bar. Because you can see, focus. You can see where it's broken. Piece of metal of some sort. So, didn't notice it. Also, if you get the BBK grip lower control arms, the parking brake cable nut factory, I don't think I have them in here. Yeah. Okay, so it actually comes in here, well, there, but you get the idea, and screws into, threads into these little pieces, these clips that go through, so there's no need for a nut on the other end. The aftermarket tubular arms do not have that. So if you're planning on getting one done like that, go to Harbor Freight, get you a little, I forgot what the diameter is, but you're going to need to go to a hardware store, wherever's around you, get your little bolt to go on the other side. The sway bar comes with all the hardware, but the hardware kit that it comes with, the bolts are meant to go through just the control arm, and the sway bar does not account for the little clip to hold the parking brake cable. So it only works for one of the 2. If that makes sense. Let me show you. So this is the hardware it comes with. these bolts right here, they're long enough to go through, but they will not go all the way through if they have to go through, if they have to go through this little parking brake cable clip. So the factory bolt, which is right here, keep it, use it, and just get you a bolt to go through the other side because these are too short to go through this and these two. So, a little helpful hint, fill in some gaps, next video.